Not done one of these for a while. I'm here to go through the fixtures of League Two and give you my predictions on what I think the scores are going to be. And should be an interesting week in League Two. Obviously, Tranmere not in action this weekend, and neither are obviously Grimsby and Chesterfield, but almost a full programme. There's only 4 teams not playing over this weekend. The first game we'll talk about is Harrogate against Notts County. Now, Notts County are obviously coming off a sore defeat to Oldham last time out, 3-0. They lost at Oldham. Harrogate obviously struggling in second bottom place in 23rd. They, believe it or not, are coming off a 1-0 defeat to Oldham themselves in their last game. So both teams have that in common. But Harrogate's form has improved in recent weeks, since January window really, and they really are in fighting for it really. Obviously, Notts County's other games besides have been a 5-2 win against Cheltenham, a 4-0 thumping away at Accrington, losing Chesterfield 3-2 and beating Walsall by 2-1, and obviously Harrogate's other results have been a 3-0 good away win for them against Tranmere, a 1-0 loss to Salford, a 4-1 defeat to MK Dons, and a 1-1 draw at home to Cheltenham. Like I said, they have improved. What am I going to go for? This is a lunchtime kickoff. I'm going to go for a draw here because Harrogate are improving. They definitely seem to be fighters, which having Simon Weaver there, as long as he has been, they've got themselves out of some scrapes. So I am saying for this game, Harrogate Town 1, Notts County 1. I don't think the county supporters will be exactly happy with that. But like I said, they are also very good at putting a few goals past the lesser sides like they have done recently. But like I said, I'm saying 1-1 between the two sides. Now we move on to the second game, which is Barnet up against Cambridge. If we look briefly at their form coming into this, Barnet a bit in and out, 2 wins, 2 losses and a draw. Their last result was a 3-1 win at MK Dons. As for Cambridge, they won 1-0 against Salford in recent run of form. It's been a 1-1 draw as well for Barnet at Crawley, a 2-1 defeat at home to Newport, a 2-0 defeat away at Salford, and a 1-0 win at home to Chesterfield, as well as the 1-0 win for Cambridge against Salford. They had a 0-0 draw away at Walsall, a 5-0 hammering at home to Gillingham, a 1-1 draw to Accrington Stanley, and a 1-1 draw against MK Dons at home. Difficult game this. Obviously Cambridge flying high in 3rd, Barnet in 12th, with an outside chance of a playoff place. Well, quite a strong chance of a playoff place really, but one of the more difficult games. I'm going to just edge Cambridge for this. Probably a 2-0 win over Barnet, I'm going to say for Cambridge. So I'm saying Barnet 0, Cambridge United 2 for this. On to the third game of the weekend, we have Barrow up against leaders Bromley. I don't really have to think too hard about this one, to be honest. Obviously, we played them, Grimsby played them last time out, and they were woeful. I mean, truly woeful. We've played both these sides fairly recently, and obviously beat one and drew with the other. We got the 1-1 draw at Blundell Park against Bromley. Bromley very, very direct, and very. They know who they are. They know what they are. From what I saw last weekend, and seeing the running that Barrow have got, I don't see where their next win's going to come from. I'm going to go here for a 2-0 win for Bromley. If we just quickly look at the other results, Barrow, apart from that, lost to Grimsby last time out. They've recently lost 3-1 away at Salford. They got a 0-0 draw against Accrington, but they've lost 2-0 to Bristol Rovers at home and a 2-2 draw with Cheltenham. Bromley, a 1-0 win at home to Colchester, a 1-0 win away to Newport, a 1-0 win at home to Bristol Rovers, obviously the 1-0 draw at Blundell Park, and a 0-0 draw against Oldham. So, like I said, I'm saying a 2-0 win for Bromley. I believe they're only about 2 or 3 wins away from probably guaranteeing promotion, and I think that could be one of them. So 2-0 to Bromley, I'm saying. The fourth game this weekend is Bristol Rovers up against Accrington Stanley. Accrington have not been in good form lately. No wins in the last 5. They lie in 15th, 48 points. Probably a little bit too far back for a late playoff charge. So just not getting the results. Bristol Rovers, again, it took a little while for Steve Evans to get going at Bristol Rovers, but you know he's starting to get a little bit of a tune out of them, winning their last 2, while actually having 1 defeat in their last 5. So you know, credit to them. That came against, like I said, the leaders Bromley. So if you look at Accrington's recent form, they've lost 1-0 at home to Chesterfield, 4-0 at home to Accrington, 0-0 to Notts County, not Accrington. Accrington then got a 0-0 against lowly Barrow, 1-1 draw between them and Cambridge, and a 2-1 defeat to Bromley. This is a difficult one, but I'm going to go for a 3-1 win for Bristol Rovers on this one. I think Accrington might be a little bit on the beach, and the Mem is starting to turn into a little bit of a fortress for Bristol Rovers, so I'm saying 3-1 Bristol Rovers. Keep that decent form going for Steve Evans and his men. If we look at game 5 of the weekend, Colchester host a revived Walsall. But Colchester is always one of these difficult teams. Obviously, they're missing Beak, which is a real blow for Colchester. He kind of makes them tick, whereas Colchester don't look the same team without him, really. And their form hasn't been great in the last 5 games. They've only lost 1. They've only won 1 of their last 5 fixtures, whereas Walsall, under Dan Byfield, they really have kind of improved and feel like maybe their playoff charge is back on track. But going to Colchester is never an easy trip. Colchester lying 14th, Walsall lying 11th, just 2 points off the playoff places. They could, with a win, go into the playoff places, depending on the results as well, of course. This is difficult because Colchester are one of those teams that you cannot take lightly, even though you know their playoff hopes are dwindling by the game. I'm going to go for a draw here, only because Colchester is not an easy place to go to. I'm going to go for Colchester United 1, Walsall 1. Walsall, like I said, the last 3 games, especially in the down Byfield, that's what you take it from. 3-0 win away at Crewe, a 0-0 draw, a creditable 0-0 draw at home to Cambridge, and then a 2-1 win. Last minute, of course, against relegation threat Newport. But I do think down Byfield is he's on the road to success, or is he painting over the cracks at Walsall? Who knows? But I think going to Colchester is always tricky. Wherever they are, it's never an easy place to go to. So I'm saying a 1-1 draw between Colchester United and Walsall this weekend. If we were to look now to the next game, which is a game I will be watching over this Saturday, it's Crawley up against Gillingham. I'm doing that because obviously Crawley played Grimsby after the international break coming up on Easter Monday. So I'll be watching them as they host under Colin Kazim-Richards, their new gaffer, as they host Gareth Ainsworth's Gillingham. And they have been, I would say, as woeful as Barrow, but safe, if that makes sense. And I think Gareth Ainsworth said in one of his recent post matches, I think it was the 5-0 defeat they had recently. It was after Cambridge. Maybe some of the players there just aren't good enough, and you've got to say yes. I mean, the form for Gillingham is woeful. 4 defeats in the last 5, and the one was only a draw. But you look at some of these defeats, say, like I said, the 5-0 defeat to Cambridge at Cambridge, 2-0 defeat in the sort of big derby there for Gillingham against Swindon, a 2-0 defeat in that, 5-1 defeat at home to MK Dons. You always say, when you're losing heavy like that, you know there's something wrong, especially at home. You shouldn't be battered. When you're at the same level, you shouldn't be battered by those scorelines. But Gillingham are not in good form. Their last game, they lost to Bristol Rovers 2-1. I think Gareth Ainsworth, I don't think he can. I think he can't wait for the season to finish. Or I think if I was Gareth Ainsworth, I couldn't wait for the season to finish. Obviously, Crawley, similar boat in a sense. Sacked Scott Lindsay last Sunday night it was, and obviously they've after an extensive recruitment process have gone for Colin Kazim-Richards, the former Derby County Trabzonspor player. Bit of a strange and weird sort of appointment that. Obviously last time out, which ended Scott Lindsay's reign a 1-0 defeat to Fleetwood, but the form really hasn't been good. They've had a couple of battling draws in there. Like I said, Gillingham lying 16th, Crawley lying 21st. Richards is in one of those situations where, with only about 7-8 games to go, he's got to hit the ground running. If he doesn't get results quickly, Crawley could easily find themselves back in the National League. It can be that. Some of them in their 21st. They're only, I believe, a point off of the relegation places. So he needs to hit the ground running, really. He can't, he can't be, he hasn't got time. With Crawley's got 7 games to go. He hasn't really got time to really going to be able to embed his style, because he's got this game and then 2 over Easter, so he could be down to 5 games left before he could really get anything going. But as poor as Gillingham have been, and they've been atrocious, like I said, as much as Barrow. But I'm going to say for this one, Gillingham are going to get the win on this one, not by much though. I am thinking a 2-0 win for Gillingham. A much needed win for Gillingham if they get it. So we shall see. I'm saying Gillingham 2, Crawley Town 0. Or it should be Crawley Town 0, Gillingham 2. And another game at the weekend that will affect the playoff race. Crewe up against Oldham. Now Oldham are absolutely flying. The form team in the division, no doubt about that. Won the last 5 league games, only conceding 1 in that time. They won 3-0, 1-0, 3-0, 1-0, and 3-1. Basically, do you see a pattern there? That probably means that they'll win 1-0. Crewe, they're like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get from Crewe. They are one of the patchiest teams in League 2. They're probably one of the most consistently inconsistent teams in this division this year. You don't know what Crewe's going to turn up. Lee Bell has done a good job and has been doing a good job at Crewe since he's been there. They're just not a consistent side, but they've got some good players at Crewe. That's why they're always in and around it. Obviously, Oldham in 9th, absolutely flying, and I say my team will. I believe they will drop out the playoffs this week. This one, I know it's at Crewe, which you'd probably say would give Crewe the advantage. Selfishly, I'd like a draw. Realistically, I'm going to go 1-0 Oldham for this. I think Oldham they're flying. They are absolutely flying. And they could very easily turn Crewe over. But I think this one could be a tight game between the two. But I'm saying Crewe Alexandra 0, Oldham Athletic 1 for this game. If we go to the next game, which is Newport hosting Shrewsbury Town. Shrewsbury obviously had that big surge in the Gavin Cowan. They've just dropped a little bit since the last couple of weeks. Newport, they're finally getting to grips with Christian Fuchs. He's definitely improved them. They are capable of getting more results now. They look a lot more difficult to beat. The last time out they lost to Walsall, but it was only a last minute winner. Shrewsbury have sort of returned to type over the last 3 games: a 2-0 defeat to Cheltenham, a 1-0 defeat at Bristol Rovers, and a 4-0 thrashing by Crewe. But if you look at the other results for Newport, they have picked up 2 wins in the last 5. That was a good win away at Barnet and a 3-1 win at home to woeful Tranmere. So they're showing some fight. They're showing some. They're not going to go down without a fight if they do. At home, I'm going to say Newport are going to get something. I think this could be Newport County 2, Shrewsbury Town 2. Like I said, I wouldn't say Gavin Cowan's lost his sparkle, but obviously it's just, they're on a bit of a bad dip, but Newport are showing that they are capable of scraping a result. I'm actually saying that, like I said, Newport will get a draw, but I think it will be 2-2 between Shrewsbury and Newport. The next game on is between 2 promotion chasing sides. Salford in 6th and MK Dons in 2nd. Obviously MK Dons trying to chase down Bromley. They're 5 points off. 5 points off Bromley after losing out last time out. Salford are 5 points clear of the playoff cut-off line. But they're going to want a couple of more results just to make sure. They lost last time out as well. If you look at the recent, games, MK Dons have only lost one of their last 5 though. That was last time out against Barnet 3-1, which I don't think anyone saw coming. Before that, MK Dons have won 1-0 against home to Colchester. They've won 2-1 against promotion chasing Swindon. Won 5-1 at lowly Gillingham, and a 4-1 win at home to struggling Harrogate. Whereas if you look at Salford's, probably the streakiest team in League Two, they did lose last time out to Cambridge. No disgrace there really. They have won 3-1 against Barrow. They won 1-0 away at Harrogate. They won 1-0 at home to Walsall. That was obviously when Matt Sadler was in charge, and a 2-0 win at home to Barnet. In fact, up until last time out, they hadn't lost since the loss to Grimsby, so they've been on a great run, Salford. I don't know with this one. Milton Keynes are top scorers, I believe, in the division. Paul Warne, we can talk about budgets and how big the budget is. You've still got to get the right blend together. You've still got to make it work. And Salford seem to go on these losing streaks after a big winning streak, don't they? I'm fancying MK Dons for this. Again, this one could be first goal key, but MK Dons, they know where the net is, don't they? Like I said, I'm saying Salford City 1, MK Dons 3. I don't think they'll close the gap on Bromley because of my thought on Bromley's result against Barrow, but I think they will definitely win 3-1 at Salford. Watch me get that one very, very wrong. But it's a result Salford will want, because they'll want to try and pull away from the chasing pack, just closing in behind them for a playoff spot. So it's important for Salford. And the final game of the weekend is in Holloway, Swindon Town against Fleetwood Town. Now, Swindon, again, I'm going to class them as a box of chocolates again. At least in the last few months, you don't know what Swindon you're going to get, and you really don't know what you're going to get from Swindon. They've obviously got the league's top scorer in Alan Drinan, always a big threat. Their recent results, though, only 2 wins in the last 5, 2 draws and a defeat. Their defeat obviously came against MK Dons. One of the draws, which was surprising, was away at Crawley, where they got 2-2. But the last 2 ones have been a narrow 1-0 win against Tranmere and a 2-0 Derby win over Gillingham, 2-0 there. Whereas you look at Fleetwood, they have improved. Obviously, 3 draws. They've gone unbeaten 8 when they lost to Grimsby a couple of games ago. 1-0 that was. A Jay's KBL last second goal really. But they've had a 0-0 draw prior to that. A 2-2 draw against Cheltenham. The 0-0 came against Tranmere. And a 1-0 draw with Gillingham. But they did win last time out. Obviously 1-0 against Crawley, which in the end cost Scott Lindsay's job at Crawley. This is a difficult one because, like I said, if Swindon are on it, I think Swindon will win this. I've just looked at the amount of goals scored. Swindon have scored 63 to Fleetwood's 48. But is the pressure getting to Swindon a little bit? And I think Fleetwood obviously they're getting close to a point where they can't really afford to lose many more games or drop many more points if they want to slightly be in the reckoning. They lie in 13th while Swindon are 5th. Swindon, they're on 69 points. Obviously, they're still in the hopes of automatic promotion. It's at Swindon, so I think you've got to favour Swindon being at home. I think Fleetwood, if it had been away, I think you'd have probably said chance of Fleetwood to get something. With that being said, Swindon being at home at the counting ground, I think you've got to... I don't think it'll be easy, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Swindon Town. I just think that, I think they've just got something about them that I think, at home, I do fancy them against Fleetwood. Away, you might fancy Fleetwood to get something because they've done it against Notts County recently and other teams. So it's not out the question that Fleetwood can't get anything. But just Swindon at home, I'm saying Swindon Town 2, Fleetwood Town 1. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. What do you think the scores are going to be for the weekend? If you're one of the 4 teams in League 2 that don't have a game this weekend, like I'm going to do, enjoy the break. I know a lot of people will be watching, especially the playoff race and the automatic promotion race. And like I said, your team's involved in the playoff race, about 5 or 6. Keep interest in the teams around there. But it's going to be an interesting weekend in League 2. Leave me your thoughts down below and your score predictions for the game. And I may do another one of these before the end of the season, talk about my own my thoughts on score predictions. So leave me your thoughts down below, your score predictions. If you're going to a League 2 game this weekend, good luck to your team and safe journey wherever it is you'll be travelling to. If you're going to an away game, safe journey, guys. And I'll be back. It'll be next week. Back to the Grimsby grind, shall we call it? I'll be back as we preview both games over Easter. But to all my League 2 subscribers, let me know your thoughts on the games and what you think will happen, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, guys, I'll see you soon. Ta-da.